Good morning, here we are again, and I found a little bit of film up from the old Landrover and we cut another bit to go in. That was why we had a bit of a gap there the other day. But we're going to put the checker plate on the wings today. I had to cut a bit for this side, but that looked nice and tidy. That looked actually more tidy than the original bit. So we've got the checker plate for the wing all painted up, and also bought that foam to go underneath, but I probably could have used the foam I already had, but never mind. So we'll stick that on and get them on. Polish the wing first. We'll just blow the dust off and polish the wing first, and then we'll fit the checker plate on over top, and then we can screw these bits down properly then. So I bought these made up foams, so we've just got to stick them on the underside of the checker plate and they're ready to fit. They were £15 off eBay. Probably, like I say, I could have made it myself, but it is slightly different type of foam. But they are. I just stuck that on there, tried to line the holes up as best as possible. It should be okay, some are better than others, but overall not too bad. That one's a little bit out, but you know, you obviously don't want the foam sticking out of the edge of the checker plate. And these holes look like they had countersunk screws in them rather than rivets, so I don't know whether to put screws back in or not. I just put a couple of screws loosely in this bit to try and level it all up, which looks alright. That hole's lining up, these front holes are lining up. And then I think I'll put these stainless steel rivets in. Let's see how that go. Well, not too bad. Could put a little bit of paint over them, I suppose. But at least they're stainless steel. Don't quite know why they say front lower. Left hand side front lower second row door. Left hand side front lower second row door. I suppose that can be used on the front lower because it's not got the holes, but otherwise they're all the same obviously. So as usual, I'm greasing both sides of this little bit of plastic. Plenty of grease on the bolts. These are actually the shorter bolts used for this, but they're not really long enough. It might be alright when we clamp them down. I just gently nipped them up, but I don't think the thread's going to come through far enough, to be honest. But they're not right tight at the minute, but I don't want to go too mad with them. But they look good. So I've just temporarily hung the door, but other than that, the door line is looking fairly good. Obviously we're not bolted the bottom hinge in yet, so I'm going to see if I can get a nut up there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to be honest. So I found out why the bolts are so long. When they're in here and you get your hand up in between that section there, these bolts are only just long enough on this particular section, so they're just kept on the same length. So you have just got to take 20mm off. That's not a big deal really, but I'm pretty sure I might be able to get a nut on the back of these, which is good. So that was very difficult, but on these bottom bolts I have managed to get a lock nut on the other side of them, so I'm quite pleased about that now. That spacer don't look too good there. So it turned out to be no problem at all to get them bolts in. You don't need to cut any of them. And there's the first door fitted. That's looking very good in line. I'm quite pleased with that. This roof bit is leaning over a bit. There's not a lot we can do about that though. But the line down there is reasonably good as well, so pleased about that. Well, I'm not going to lie, these bolts definitely need to be 5mm longer. These S&P doors, these are good doors, so you really need some longer bolts to go through there. But But other than that, that's looking pretty cool. So I'm just going to continue with this door. We'll fit our billet aluminium door latch or door handle, and then we'll fit the latch, and obviously all the accessories will be fitted in due course. I will just point out, as you can see, I have put grease on everything, and I will continue to put grease on everything, because in these thread holes and everything, that just makes it last. There's no reason why not. Right, this is something to remember. I've actually had to file this hole out a little bit bigger to get the handle in. Obviously, I probably should have tried these handles before we painted the doors, so something to keep in mind really. You don't think of these things, but it's quite a tight fit, so I had to give it a little bit of a filing out, and I should have tried that and done that before I painted the doors really. But that's not a big deal, it's not going to damage anything, but that just would have been better to do it first. Also had to slightly open that hole up again on the inside, so you know, these are all things that should be done before painting, so it's something to remember. Well, I suppose it's a combination of things. We also need to open this little hole up a bit, because we can't quite get the screw in when the handle's in. So a little bit of messing around to do with these handles and new doors, but I suppose it's to be expected. Well, that was hard work, but it's in now, so something to remember. But other than that, that door's looking pretty cool. I'll have a go now at fitting the latches. We've got our gasket there, screws, all the little bits and pieces that we bought from L&R parts. We'll see what we can get done. There's our door. It's lined up very well. It shuts quite well, but I don't quite shut fully. So what we're going to have to do is open the holes up behind there to bring this bit slightly forward. I need to come forward just a little bit. It's a bit of a bugger. We've had to just take that off, file them out a little bit. We're using the file on the drill, and hopefully we'll be able to get that catch just a little few more mil towards the door, and that should lock properly then. So what I should have done is drilled completely new holes, because it's got to come over that much. We still need another 3 to 4 mil, so I should have drilled 2 new holes really. Well, eventually with a lot of messing around, I managed to get there. So it's not moved that much. Well, that has moved a fair bit, and that's locking. I mean, how's that for a Landrover door? Perfect. Pleased with that. This took a long while, but it's getting there. So we know we need to shave a little out, open these holes up, shave a little out of there to get the door handle on, unless the other door will be slightly different. And this needs to be roughly 40 mil, 50 mil from the end of the rubber there. Sort of 40 mil from there, look. And that's about right then. See with this side one, we're 60 mil, you see. It's got to come out about that much. So we'll move that other one 20 mil, and that should be roughly in the right place then. We're hanging the second door, or the right hand back door, but don't cut these bolts down, because they're actually all the right size. You've got 2 longer ones for the bottom, 2 slightly shorter ones for the top, so I cut one, and I shouldn't have done really, but never mind. Messing around with the second door, it's took me ages to get that handle in nicely. but the door's fairly well lined up at the moment. We just got to move that out, take that off. We'll drill some new holes, put that right back where it should be, get the door fitted. The other thing I received is some more of that dum-dum tape. This one was only £6 something, so I just thought I'd get it because I didn't like the grey that we'd put on there the other day, so I'm going to change it for some black. Yeah, it's not really much to worry about, but that little bit of grey there, I'm going to change that for this black dum-dum. You can see here these holes have already been a bit elongated, but they need to come over roughly 15mm, so I'm going to drill a couple more holes next to it. We'll line the door up, line the catch up, and make it as neat as we can. What I've done is put the latch in the catch and I don't actually look too bad, so I'm going to just try it first and we'll see what. No, I've got to make some spaces up as well because I used all the spaces up on the other door. In the end I didn't have to move this as far as I thought. Another door shutting nicely, not too bad round the edges. The door's bowled out a little bit there, but it's not a big deal. And the edge down there is pretty good, look. So a lot of messing around, but I didn't actually need to. I probably drilled some holes I didn't need to drill in the end. Just going to move on to making these door cards up, getting them fitted, and then trying to fit all the lock and mechanism and complete it. I've also got these little buffer rubbers that go in the check strap bit on the door, so they buffer it if the door blow open. That piece of rubber actually does nothing because that bit of rubber's in there now, that go back to there. But when this check strap hit that nut, so it don't hit the buffer rubber anyway. So that was a waste of time. This is on our rear doors check strap. This sits too far back. I've cut this piece of foam so the rubber will work. I'll show you. Now we've got a bit of extra in there. You can see that it's working nicely. Just going to put a bit of copper grease around these. Probably better to use normal grease, to be honest with you, but we'll do it like that. And then I've got some bolts here to join it up. I'm just gently tapping the holes to make sure that the holes are clear, because obviously they've got paint in them and whatnot. And that just make your life easier. So I recommend doing that. I'm going to have to just open up a couple of holes so I can get the bolt in. Pity they don't come with the fixing bolts, because they're quite expensive. So I have found out that these are supposed to be handed, so unfortunately I got two right hand side ones, so I need to get that. Putting this little clip in, see if I can get all these bits in and the linkages so the door locks and opens and everything else. So that's what we're going to try and do now. You have to put this locking device inside this first before you put it on there. So this is for the internal handle, and I've been sent the wrong part because it's too long, so I'm just going to bend it and make it fit. I can't worry about getting another one. I measured that off there, just going to try it out, see if we're in the right place and make sure the door works. As you can see, we need to bend it straight and bend it again, but it is working as such. Look as though the door is shut, we've done the latch. So, as easy as that. You could maybe make them yourself. Right, I can't get on any more with these doors. I need to buy a left-hand internal door opener, and I've got these. I'll put up an illustration. These little bits, number 26, I haven't got them, so when LR Parts sell the rod kit, they don't sell these other little bits, but I suppose they don't know exactly what you want. That's a pity you couldn't get them in the kit as well, but maybe people buy the rods and not them bits, I don't know. So we'll have to try and source them. These check straps, they've got a cover to go over them, but there's no hole there for them, and I'm not drilling into my new bulkhead, so I'm just going to stick this on with some dum-dum. That wedges in quite well anyway. Start on the trailer electrics now. So I bought some plugs. I bought these rubber gaskets as well, rubber to go on them. I had to buy them all separately because I didn't notice when I bought the plug this come as well. Got a metre of each cable. This is the old NATO plug, but I've noticed that don't plug in everywhere. We ain't got another plug for this one. I'll show you. So here's our NATO loom. Seems as though there's a few things missing. This is our permanent feed on the purple, I think. So we're going to have to just check out. I might have to cut into these two, but I wanted to try and make it so I can leave the plug on one. So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cables. So that should be a normal trailer. Lights, just lights on there, and then obviously if we want to use a caravan we're going to have to get into some of these other ones. I don't know what this is, but I wanted to try and keep one plug and then I'll have to just cut into the loom for the others. But we should have 12 wires there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we haven't got all the wires we need anyway, by the looks of things. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, seem to have them all there. We should have 12 cables for the NATO hitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've only got 9. So I'm not too sure really, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we've got 11 here, so we should have had 11 back there really, so we've got something missing, but we can sort that out as we go. I've got a diagram that tells me what cables should be what, so we'll see if that works. I was going to try and make 2 looms for this one, for one trailer, and this one for the other one, but I'm going to change it now. I've pretty much sorted out which cables are what, and we'll connect onto there, and then we can plug it straight into there. This plug isn't so good really, so I'm going to get rid of that one. So we're getting there. That's the trailer lights working. I still need to get an ignition feed and put a couple of earths in. I'll show you that later. Fitted the bumper. That's all we had time for. Thanks for watching as always. Cheers.